YouTubers, Blackmore here at Super Easy Guitar. This week we're doing another tips lesson and we're going to do this on bending the strings, alright? I've had quite a few emails come through about people saying they're struggling to bend strings. Purely, most of the time, our answer is because you're playing on the acoustic and it chews the hell out of your fingers. So it can be done on acoustic, but you know, depending on the gauge, if you've got nice light gauge strings, then yeah, for sure you can bend them, but it's certainly much easier to learn on the electric guitar, okay? So I thought I'd just talk you through a few little pieces that I was doing at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is just bend up from the 5th fret. You see, so I'm actually bending this 5th note. It's actually C, okay, until we get to D. So I'm listening for when it comes back into tone. So I'm listening for that tone there. And what I'm doing, I'm actually using all 3 of my fingers to put down, because when I was learning, I thought, oh, I could do it with 1 finger. It's just, it would chew the hell out of my fingers, and I just couldn't get it. And I realized by putting a few more fingers behind, that just gives you the strength to bend the string up, okay? So what I'm actually doing, I'm using all 3 fingers and I'm pushing into the fretboard, okay? Plucking, and then just slowly pushing in and across the fret at the same time. I'm constantly keeping the pressure down on my fingers, okay? And just hold it there. If you just wanted to do a half bend, it would just be there, from there. Yeah? And then a full bend. Okay? Half bend. Full bend. So sometimes when you're reading these tabs and it says, you know, full bend, that's what they're talking about. They're on about going to the next note in the scale. Half bend. Yeah, you see, you tune your ear into it. And then... And the thing to do then is keep that pressure on and let the string come back down without taking the pressure off. Or you could pluck it when you bend up, hold it there and pluck again, bring it back down. So all I'm doing now, I'm bending up, pulling it back down, pulling off, and playing a G note, which is the 5th fret on the D string. Classic kind of blues lick, right? Okay, so a question I also get asked a lot is, when should you use up bends and when should you use down bends? Well, looking back at that lick, that's an up bend and that's a down bend. So there's not really much in it. It just depends on the context of the song. So if you're playing on the low A, you could probably get away with an up bend, but the down bend is going to be much easier. And the same for the high strings as well. You know, you're not going to do a down bend on the top E, because it's just going to go over the fretboard. So it's always going to be an upstroke, okay? So a riff that I kind of use a down bend would be something like that, right? So we're going. So what I'm actually like doing a double stop. I'm covering 2 strings and bending down at the same time. So I'm going. So that's probably a good example of, you know, when you would use a down bend, you want to use the string next to it. So another cool trick as well would be to bend up on one string and then bend back down on another. Okay, I'm actually bending up there on the 7th fret on the B string. And underneath it, I'm also bending the G string. And all I do is pluck that when it's bent up. I'm also now plucking the G string and bringing it back down. So effectively, if I was to do it separately, but you know, it takes too long to do that, so I made sure I caught the G string underneath it, and I bend the G string back down. Something like that, okay? So you could also try that on the top E string on the, let's say the 17th fret. Bend the top E so you catch the B underneath it, and then you pluck and pull the B down. And then I'm just doing 15 on the B and 16 on the G. Okay, something like that. So a bend down kind of lick, same sort of thing, except I've got my first finger on the 7th fret on the G and my third finger on the 9th fret on the G, and I'm pulling down on the 9th and letting it go back to where it originated. So I'm effectively doing that. I'm just bending down and letting it come back down to its position, but I'm doing it really aggressively. So what you'll find is when you first start doing bends, you'll find them pretty difficult, and it's remembering to get all those 3 fingers behind. And certainly down this end of the fretboard, it's going to be a lot harder. There's a lot more tension down here. As you come further to the middle of the fretboard, you'll find it easier to bend, okay? And again, when you get up here, it might get a bit hard again. All right, so there's just a few little things you can try out, like bending the strings. They do take a while to gather the strength in your finger, guys, and they will cause your fingers to be a little bit sore in the beginning. You have to make sure you've got nice thick calluses on your fingers, okay? But keep going with it because it's going to sound cool. Recommended listening would be, I guess, like Gary Moore. Parisian Walkway, so go check that out if you want to hear a guy bend. And I'll see you the same time again next week. Enjoy, guys.